Most of the world is horrified at the chaos in Afghanistan, but the government of Pakistan wants the Taliban in power. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. The U.S. pullout from Afghanistan has had devastating consequences for Americans, for locals who helped the Americans, and for America's allies. But there's one American ally who's celebrating the Taliban's win: Pakistan. This is Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan last week.
When you become a mental slave, then remember that mental slavery is worse than actual slavery. It is more difficult to break the chains of mental slavery. In Afghanistan, they have just broken the chains of slavery.
Did he just endorse the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan? That's what a lot of people think. Also, he's treading deep into Kanye West territory with those slavery comments. Great! Now we've got a Kanye West and a Kanye East. Imran Khan has spent years criticizing America. He was elected prime minister in a wave of populism that included plenty of anti-American rhetoric. After he became prime minister, he toned it down a little, saying he wanted a balanced relationship with the U.S., like the relationship the U.S. has with India, Pakistan's rival. But Khan has also accused the U.S. of wanting Pakistan to clean up its mess in Afghanistan. While Pakistan and the U.S. are technically allies and security partners, the relationship status is it's complicated. So Khan's statements about the Taliban aren't too surprising. Plus, this isn't the first time Khan has said positive things about Islamic terrorists, like that time he called Osama bin Laden a martyr. He's even made the claim that the Taliban are normal civilians. He thinks these guys seem like normal civilians. In what universe? Besides Texas. Prime Minister Khan has also made assertions without evidence that most Afghan refugees who fled into Pakistan sympathize with the Taliban. That's like saying fleeing gazelles sympathize with cheetahs. Yeah, they ate my sister, but in their defense, they did run out of Cheetos. There's a reason why Khan paints the Taliban and other Islamic terrorists with rosy words. And it isn't because they're standing right behind him. Technically, they're standing above him. But Pakistan has a long history of supporting the Taliban. In fact, it helped create the group. It goes back to the Cold War. That's when Pakistan's intelligence agency, ISI, and my favorite American intelligence agency, the CIA, teamed up to train Afghan guerrilla fighters called the Mujahideen. With no foresight whatsoever, we thought it would be a great idea to train them to fight against the Soviet Union. Many of those Mujahideen then later became the Taliban, and the Taliban eventually took over Afghanistan after the Soviets left, which makes this original dedication screen at the end of the 1988 film Rambo 3 pretty awkward. This is the nicest gift the U.S. has given the Taliban since, well, Afghanistan. But unlike the U.S. government, the Pakistani government supported the Taliban. In fact, Pakistan went above and beyond to empower the Taliban, like giving some of their leaders Pakistani passports. To this day, Pakistan's intelligence agency, ISI, has been the Taliban's chief patron, reportedly providing it with financial resources, training, weapons, logistical support, and above all, a safe haven in Pakistani territory. Pakistan's basically a giant Motel 6 for the Taliban, except Pakistan is safer and has fewer weapons. Pakistan's interior minister admitted that Taliban families live inside Pakistan. Yeah, so did al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, until America's SEAL Team 6 sent him to that special Guantanamo Bay in the sky. Wait, what am I saying? I meant that special Guantanamo Bay down below. But in short, what America calls terrorists, Pakistan may call friends. And the Taliban wouldn't have thrived without Pakistan's continued friendship. It's kind of like how we all have that one friend that people ask why we hang out with them, and we say, I understand why you don't like them, but they've always been cool to me. Only, with violent extremists who behead infidels. Anyway, Pakistan's friendship with the Taliban is partly to thank for the events of this month, where the Taliban was able to sweep up most of Afghanistan in a matter of days. But why would Pakistan support a violent organization like the Taliban? I'll explain after the break. Welcome back. Officially, Pakistan denies it's supporting the Taliban, much in the same way O.J. Simpson denies being a murderer. He'll catch the real killer any day now. But the Afghan Taliban serves Pakistan's political interests. That's because Pakistan has a major rivalry with India. Ever since both countries gained independence from the British Empire in 1947, the two countries have contested for power over hotspots like Kashmir, which borders Afghanistan. That's right, this is all Britain's fault. Behind every great man, there's a great woman, and behind every international conflict, there's a British flag. The most consequential regional competition for influence in Afghanistan is the contest between India and Pakistan. India wants Afghanistan to have a friendly and open secular government. In the last 2 decades, India had become one of Afghanistan's most significant donors, providing scholarship to Afghan students, offering food assistance, and helping restore the country's war-ravaged power grid. In 2011, India became Afghanistan's first strategic partner, and in November 2020, India announced 100 projects worth $80 million in Afghanistan. India wanted to keep Afghanistan free because a new Taliban government will likely foster safe havens for anti-Indian terrorist organizations and other groups that could sow chaos in Indian-administered Kashmir. And they have good reason to worry. When the Taliban controlled Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001, they gave safe haven to anti-Indian groups. India also fears the Haqqani network, which the UN calls the Taliban's most combat-ready forces, which is impressive considering how all of the Taliban are always super combat-ready, even when they're praying. Yep, that's definitely just a normal citizen. Who the heck prays while holding a gun? Besides Texans. Okay, that church was in Pennsylvania, which is the Texas of the Northeast. Anyway, back to the Taliban and their Haqqani network. The Haqqani network attacked India's diplomatic missions in Kabul in 2008 and Herat in 2014. So India would prefer to have a free and open Afghanistan, kind of like how gazelles would prefer their homes to be cheetah-free. But Pakistan sees it differently. From their point of view, any ties between Afghanistan and India have been seen as extremely dangerous to Pakistan's very survival. They fear that India may use Afghanistan as a backdoor to destabilize Pakistan, such as by fanning separatist insurgencies. Pakistan wants to deny India a foothold in their backyard, and they do this by allowing the Taliban to control Afghanistan. Kind of like how grass enjoys cheetahs because cheetahs protect the grass from gazelles eating it. It's the circle of life, only, with violent extremists who behead infidels. The Taliban's takeover has been a major blow to India, and obviously also to the US, our allies, and millions of Afghans who prefer freedom over, being beheaded. But the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan could also backfire on Pakistan down the line. I'll explain how after the break. Welcome back. Pakistan likes the Afghan Taliban. It serves Pakistan's strategic interests. But there's also a Pakistani Taliban, known as the TTP. It has links with the Afghan Taliban, but it attacks Pakistan. Pakistan does not like this. Tens of thousands of Pakistanis have died because of the Pakistani Taliban. But Pakistan is careful to distinguish the Taliban that help Pakistan and the Taliban that doesn't. It's a complicated game of good Taliban, bad Taliban. Kind of like how there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Good cholesterol makes sure everything is running smoothly, while bad cholesterol will murder your entire bloodline. And although Pakistani military leaders publicly tell everyone that the Afghan and Pakistani Taliban are different, they admit they are two faces of the same coin. Kind of like Jared Leto and Jake Gyllenhaal. I know there's technically a difference, but I just don't see it. The Pakistani military drove the Pakistani Taliban back into Afghanistan in 2014. But the Pakistani Taliban regained strength thanks to their leader, Noor Wali Massoud. They've gained more strength now that key Pakistani Taliban leaders have been released from Afghan prisons. You know, after America just upped and left. In our defense, though, this is still ultimately Britain's fault. Without them, there wouldn't be an America to just up and leave Afghanistan, so take that, Dad. Not too long after the Afghan Taliban success, Massoud called for an independent state in Pakistan for the first time.
Our fight is only in Pakistan, and we are at war with the Pakistani security forces. We are firmly hoping to take control of the Pakistani tribal border regions and make them independent.
Massoud's interview makes it clear that the Pakistani Taliban is not only prepared to militarily confront Pakistan, but it also has a support base and will attempt to win the support of local tribes. Wow, that snake you nursed back to health wound up biting you? Who could have seen that coming? You know, besides literally everyone. Even Stevie Wonder saw it coming. Since May, the Pakistani Taliban have been involved in more than 100 attacks aimed mainly at Pakistan's security agencies. And it looks like the Pakistani Taliban won't stop. So it sounds like the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan could end up strengthening the group that's hurting Pakistan. There's some speculation that Pakistan could work out a deal with the Afghan Taliban to constrain the TTP, but even if it comes to pass, there is a real question of how effective it would be. What do you mean? I'm sure the Taliban will keep their word, just like how they kept their promise to not invade Afghanistan as soon as the US left. Sources, however, said the Afghani Taliban are likely to face internal conflicts if they follow the directions of Pakistani army generals to arrest or eliminate the Pakistani Taliban leadership and cadre. So, the good Taliban doesn't want to stop the bad Taliban. It's almost like there is no good Taliban. This is a lesson that Pakistan and Rambo should have learned sooner. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. And if you like this show, please know we could not do it without direct support from viewers like you. Visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered and contribute $1 or more per episode to help us keep the show going. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.